Anyone who has previously sold or purchased an apartment or other real estate property is aware of the fact that they will have to pay a tax called real estate tax. Real estate tax is divided into two parts: price tax for the seller and purchase tax for the buyer. In order to understand the subject of taxation, it is important to consult with an experienced real estate lawyer who is knowledgeable in the area that you require services in. The services of a real estate tax attorney will help you carry out proper and professional tax planning and find solutions to your problems. What do the services of a real estate tax attorney include, and why are they important? A lawyer who specializes in real estate and real estate taxation will help you reduce the tax on the transaction, whether it is a purchase or sale. And in some cases, you will be able to be granted a full tax exemption from paying said tax. Accompaniment and advice given by a professional is essential, because when it comes to real estate taxation, everyone will be required to pay a different amount of tax on the apartment, depending on several parameters: the date of purchase of the apartment, the cost of the apartment, and various renovations, if made in the apartment, and more. In order to get the best taxation that you will have to pay as buyers or sellers of real estate, and in order to address and provide a solution to all the problems and difficulties in real estate taxation that you encounter along the way, it is highly recommended that you consult a real estate lawyer.
What issues does a real estate tax lawyer deal with? A real estate attorney handles the following issues. Ownership check. This is important before making a real estate transaction and includes a number of checks. Is the apartment offered for sale actually registered with the Israel Land Administration? There exist situations where the name and registration of the apartment is still under the name of the previous owner. The seller is obligated to complete the process. When the apartment was inherited and no inheritance order was issued, or an inheritance order was issued and received that is not suitable and not registered in the registry, and even in cases where the property is registered with a mortgage company or the Israel Land Authority and is not yet registered, it is important to identify the problems in advance. The amount of tax that needs to be paid will be carefully monitored by the lawyer, and he will provide guidance and advice to his client throughout all of the stages of real estate taxation procedure until the property is acquired. Preliminary advice and tax planning. Receiving advice on all the various aspects on the tax side of real estate transactions is the key to a successful, profitable, and lucrative transaction. It is important to carefully consider all the components of the transaction well in advance to the transaction itself. Before you choose the taxation route that is suitable for your case, you must examine all of the options and details. This is an important tool and an integral part of the decision-making process on whether or not to sign a real estate transaction. Changes and updates in the real estate tax law. In recent years, there have been numerous changes made to the Israeli laws of real estate taxation praise and acquisition law of 1963 that directly and significantly affect the variety of economic aspects of all real estate transactions. The sellers and buyers in the real estate market have become aware of the many changes and the various restrictions that have taken place under the new legislation. Restriction on the use of exemptions when selling a residential apartment that is a qualifying apartment. Raising purchase tax brackets. The indication of the method of calculating tax in a linear method. Determination of the transitional provisions for the implementation of the amendments in the law. Apply changes related to cooling periods. Imposition of additional restrictions on real estate transfer transactions that were previously tax exempt. Creating and determining a tax calculation basis for non-residents and returning residents. Changes regarding allotments and transfers in real estate associations. The legal and financial advice and planning regarding real estate taxation takes into account various aspects of the transaction that may significantly affect its viability in the short and long term. Ongoing professional guidance provided by an expert real estate taxation attorney, including advice before filing the assessment with the tax authorities, accompanying clients with tax officials in assessment proceedings, and, if necessary, submitting objections. Professional opinion regarding various and varied taxation issues, and deals with the issuance of preliminary rulings before authorities and tax authorities. Advice and support are also appropriate and essential in the taxation of TMA 38 projects, urban renewal and evacuation of construction. Important tips before making a real estate transaction. Iron law. Before you sign a contract in the amount of millions of shekels, it is important and mandatory that you consult with a recommended real estate lawyer. A real estate taxation attorney has knowledge and expertise in all the complexities associated with various real estate transactions and transactions: construction, purchase, sale, rental, purchasing groups, dealing with developers and contractors, and more. Legal assistance in the field of real estate taxation helps people who do not understand and are familiar with the subject and field of real estate taxation to make a transaction in a clean and smooth manner and avoid mistakes in high taxation.
A leading and professional law firm and notary in the field of real estate. Law firm and notary Scheiman Hahn provides professional legal services in a variety of areas in civil commercial law, including real estate law, real estate transactions, real estate taxation, inheritances and wills, enforcement proceedings, and more. The firm's staff includes leading and skilled lawyers who will accompany you all the way and provide you with a complete answer to every problem and issue related to the world of real estate and real estate transactions. We are at your service, and we will be happy to cooperate and represent you with the tax authorities in order to complete your transaction in the smoothest way, while reducing the amount of tax you will have to pay by realizing and utilizing various benefits and discounts due to the law, and preventing mistakes that may cost you dearly.